Welcome to the Municipal Court for the City of Norman, Oklahoma. The court is the judicial branch of city government and is created by state law and city ordinance to hear and determine prosecutions for alleged violations of the city's ordinances. The court hears misdemeanor traffic and non-traffic offenses as well as parking violations. Charges can be submitted by police officers, fire department personnel, and other city officials such as code enforcement and animal control officers. Charges can also be submitted by citizens of the community. This video was provided to help you better understand the court's procedures and any options you may have. If you are watching this video, you are here for your initial appearance before a judge of the municipal court. This appearance is called an arraignment. The city has alleged that you have violated a city ordinance and you are here to answer the charge. You are presumed innocent until proven guilty. During your arraignment, the judge will inform you of your rights, the charge against you, and the maximum penalty that may be imposed against you if you plead guilty or no contest, or if you are found guilty after a trial. The judge will then ask you to enter a plea. The pleas you may enter will be covered in more detail later in this video. Although most defendants prosecuted in the city's municipal court are not represented by an attorney, you have the right to be represented by an attorney of your choice at your expense. If the charge against you carries imprisonment and you are indigent, you have the right to be represented by a court-appointed attorney at the city's expense. Although court staff is dedicated to ensuring that all defendants are afforded due process and are informed and heard at all stages of the judicial process, they may not provide legal advice. When this video ends, you will be directed to the courtroom to check in with a marshal of the municipal court. You will then be given an opportunity to speak with a prosecutor. The prosecutor does not represent you and cannot give you legal advice. However, the prosecutor can advise you of the sentencing recommendation that will be made if you intend to plead guilty or no contest. While the court often follows the prosecutor's sentencing recommendation, it is not bound by the prosecutor's recommendation. The court may accept, reject, or modify in whole or in part the prosecutor's recommendation. At an arraignment, the judge is responsible for informing defendants of their rights, the charges, and the effect of each plea. The judge will begin the court session with some preliminary remarks and will then call each case individually. After the judge has imposed punishment or ordered the case set for trial, you will be directed to the clerk. If you have pled guilty or no contest, the clerk will direct you to the lobby to pay the fine and cost imposed by the court. If you have pled not guilty, the clerk will give you a trial date and then direct you to the lobby to post bond. Your plea options today are guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you plead not guilty, you must post an appearance bond and your case will be set for trial at a later date. If you plead guilty or no contest, the court will proceed with sentencing. In your municipal court case, the consequences of a guilty plea and a no contest plea are the same. The difference between a guilty plea and a no contest plea is a no contest plea cannot be used against you in a subsequent civil lawsuit that arises out of the same incident. For example, if you received a citation as a result of an automobile accident, a no contest plea cannot be used against you to prove that the accident was your fault. A guilty plea can be used against you to prove that the accident was your fault. Although this court does not determine fault in automobile accidents, your plea in this court may impact your ability to defend yourself in a subsequent civil lawsuit. Court will begin promptly on the hour. The judge will explain your rights and the procedures that will be followed during arraignment. Listen carefully to the judge's explanations. You may be asked if you understand or have any questions. Next, the judge will begin calling individual cases. When your name is called, approach the podium in front of the judge. After advising you of your rights, the charge, and the maximum punishment that can be imposed upon a conviction, the judge will then ask you to enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If a not guilty plea is entered, the judge will advise you of your trial rights. If the maximum punishment that may be imposed in your case exceeds $500, you have the option of a judge or a jury trial. If you choose a jury trial, 6 citizens from this community will decide your case. If you choose a judge trial, one of the judges at the municipal court will hear your case. If you plead not guilty and request a judge or jury trial, an appearance bond will be set and the clerk will give you a trial date. After receiving your paperwork from the clerk, you will be directed to the lobby to post bond. At trial, the city will be required to present evidence sufficient to convince the judge or jury beyond a reasonable doubt that you have violated a city ordinance. You will have the opportunity to present evidence on your own behalf. After all the evidence is presented, the judge or jury will enter a verdict of either guilty or not guilty. If you are found not guilty, your appearance bond will be refunded and the case is over. If you are found guilty, the judge will assess punishment. Once the punishment is satisfied, your case in municipal court will be over. You have a right to appeal a guilty verdict to the Cleveland County District Court. On appeal, your case will be heard by a judge of the district court. The district court judge will not be bound by the municipal court verdict. If you are convicted, the appeal process will be further explained to you at that time. If you plead guilty or no contest, the judge will impose punishment. The fines, fees, or court cost must be satisfied at that time. After satisfying the fines, fees, and court cost, you will be free to leave. If you did not come prepared to pay any assessments, you will be directed to the telephone to seek assistance from friends or family members. Also, there is an ATM in the outer lobby. If you are unemployed, have no means of support, or are found to be indigent, you will be directed to the hearing officer who will conduct an interview and investigation before referring the matter back to the judge for further consideration. To recap, if you intend to plead guilty or no contest, you may speak with the prosecutor before court concerning a recommendation for punishment. But remember, the prosecutor does not represent you. You have the right to have your own attorney present. If you plead not guilty, you will post bond and your case will be continued for trial. All bonds, fees, fines, and court costs are due today. We hope this video has been beneficial in familiarizing you with the court's procedures. Please direct any questions you may have to court staff.